Hello everyone. Welcome to another Sketchy Saturday episode. Today I am in the mood to play with markers. Are we going to stick exclusively with markers? Probably not. I should say alcohol markers specifically. But I'm trying my absolute damnedest to get through this set of markers, the chalky crown markers that were sent to me in PR. Oh, Bentley is going to serenade us. There is a siren outside. Oh, see, this is what happens with low quality markers. So yeah, I am trying to get through them because I don't want to just throw them in the trash. Could I? Yes. Should I? Debatable. But not only do I want to use these markers, but I'm in the mood to use kind of a funky, quote-unquote, ugly color palette. I'm thinking reds and yellows, which we can definitely pretty up, but it's just not something that most people would think, ooh, that's pretty. So let's just go with... maybe we'll toss that pink in there too. This one that was a little funky. Oh God, you see that? I don't know if you can see that string of pigment. It looks like blood, which the vampire should appreciate that, but it's sticky. Whoa, oh, it's not that sticky. Oh, it does kind of look like blood. No. So it's merely the pigment. It's the juicy pigment. So I'm gonna grab, hold on one second. I'm gonna grab my little alcohol sprayer. This is just... These markers are such crap. Now, of course, my hands are all red. I mentioned in the video that they were sent to me in. They were sent to me in PR. And, you know, at first I was grateful. I was honest in my review, though. I said, these are not great. They're basically trash. But here's how I can work with trash. And I put that video up, not to encourage people to purchase the markers, but just in case somebody had purchase something in similar quality that was just as crappy and whatnot, so that they wouldn't throw them away, so that they could learn that, you know what, even though something is shit quality, you can still use it. Because I would never in a million years recommend these, and I said as much in that video. But it didn't really occur to me until later, where I thought, wait, were these people that sent these to me in PR expecting me to... They didn't get angry because of my review. I mean, it was perfectly honest. They'd never said anything, actually. But I wonder if they knew that their markers were this shitty of a quality, if they just slapped their private label on them without knowing or not. Because if they did, and they're the type of people who just expect people to leave them a nice review because they receive free product in the mail, well, those are shitty people. Maybe they were afraid to say anything to me because I posted another video calling out another shit company, company who expects work for free. No Issue Tissue company. They had contacted me, and they contact a lot of small creators to do free work for them. Basically what they do is they contact the big creators and they give them a bunch of free stuff, and then the small ones, they want to throw you pennies. And oh, I called them out and I made a video. If you guys have a moment, either find that video and leave a comment and a thumbs up, any of my review videos, because I can't stand people, small or large creators. I cannot stand people who leave a positive review when it's unwarranted. And there are big YouTube creators, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, who do that shit. And I hate it. And the reason they do it is because they get a kickback. And hey, this is probably why I'm hanging out here baroque as a joke, right? But I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to compromise my integrity over that shit. I'm sorry, I'm not. Are we gonna do pink hair? This intro was very long today. I apologize. But I was preparing. This is something that I don't do often. I don't do marker work often, and I forget that it takes time to prepare a little bit. You got to select the colors. I do markers in my coloring books all the time, but in my sketchbooks, it's not something that I do often. I've been almost exclusively a watercolor marker fiend in my sketchbook. This is supposed to be fluorescent coral, okay? This is not fluorescent in the least. These cheap private label marker brands, I'm telling you, they are crappy. We are gonna try to juice this up a little and do a little bit of a blendy blend. Because here's the thing, as I was saying, I post honest reviews, or I mean, I don't post reviews often because, as I said, I don't have the money to be purchasing supplies all the time to be testing, but I'm using these markers instead of throwing them away because I want people, again, as I mentioned earlier, who may happen to have crappy supplies. So many weird cuts in this video because it's early while I'm filming this and it is a trash day, and then there are maintenance people and landscapers outside everywhere. So their big old trucks are rolling through constantly, and I'm going to be cutting all of that out because I'm sitting right by my window and you can hear it. So anyway, these are really, the purpose of these is to just be more of an encouraging type of video in case you have crappy supplies, or if perhaps all you can afford are crappy supplies. I'm not poo-pooing you. From the start of my channel, I've told you this, that I use a mix of materials. Hell, I've used crayons in my coloring books before. Look through my coloring chats. My embarrassing early coloring chats where I had less of an idea of what I was doing on YouTube. And, you know, I actually haven't watched any of my early coloring chats, but I assume that they are a little bit different in tone. Because, and I'll tell you why. I'm self-aware enough to know that my behavior and my attitude tends to come off the wrong way. And when I started YouTube, I was still very much working in offices and working with other people. And I knew that my tone of voice and just my deadpan way of speaking often gets misconstrued, and it would get me into trouble all the time. And I thought, okay, if I'm coming on a platform such as YouTube, it's going to be even worse. People are going to think that I'm such a bitch right out the gate. And we need to try to maybe alleviate that. So I was a little bit bouncier at the beginning just because I wanted to emphasize, hey, I'm not an asshole all the time, I promise, right? But then after I settled into my channel, I realized it's starting to feel exactly as I am beginning to feel exactly the same way I feel when I'm in an office. I need to be conscious of the way that I'm speaking, and that's not cool. So I said, you know what? People who like me are going to subscribe, and people who don't are going to leave. I don't want YouTube to feel like a job. I just don't. So that's how we landed on where I am today. And as you can see, it has definitely hurt my channel because I've been on this platform for what, 4 years, just about? 4 years, and I only have 2,000 subscribers. So, you know, that's not, even though people say it's better to be yourself and blah, 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 that's not always the case. Perhaps my personality is too jarring for some people, but that's okay. Your girl hasn't changed. Your girl will not change. Either you like it or you don't. Okay, now let's see. I pulled out this deep red because I want to use it on something. I just don't know what. Let's put some in the background, shall we? Is that a cicada I hear outside? I think so. The cicadas are coming. Oh, I love the cicadas. They're such clumsy flyers, though. They constantly fly right into my face when I'm out for walks, and it throws me every time because I can see them coming. I can see them coming, and I think, okay, I have plenty of time, or the creature sees me as well, and it has plenty of time to dodge me. No, it's in its mind, it's saying, oh, look, here comes that crazy bitch. She has plenty of time to dodge me. She sees me flying in her direction. So both of us stubbornly continue walking in the direction we were going in, assuming that the other one is going to move. Neither one of us does, and then right in the face. Right in the face. These stupid insects. And then sometimes they are so clumsy that they bump right into me and they fall on the ground. What are you doing, you fool? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's kind of funny, actually. I want to do this gold color. Let's see. My gosh, these markers. Can you see the mess on this marker as well? They're true garbage. I wonder if the company's still selling. They were on Amazon, I believe, exclusively. If you watch that video, you can see that they work just fine on just a basic, simple illustration, and that's why I'm choosing to use them today on just another basic, simple illustration. But there's just something very grating to me about a company who sells mediocre products knowingly and willingly. It's just not cool. But I made the illustration. She was cute. She was cute, and I sold her. I had her for sale on my Etsy shop because it was fine. I mean, alcohol markers are alcohol markers. You can make them work, but it's just the company behind the markers. I'm like, I don't like you people. And your girl's not afraid to say it. This is why your girl does not receive PR, and this is why your girl's channel is so small. But again, I don't care, and I thank you all for being here. I mean, think about it. Somebody out there's probably saying, if it didn't bother you, you wouldn't be mentioning it. I want you to take a look, if you're one of these people who's saying that, I want you to take a look at my channel, and I want you to see how consistent my content has been for the past 3 years. My attitude hasn't changed, nothing. The first few months I was getting my feet wet, and I didn't know how I was going to go about this YouTube thing. But once I decided to just be me 100%, whether people like it or not, too damn bad, my content hasn't changed. So clearly it does not bother me that I have no growth and that I'm not being paid, right? Well, technically, I do get paid by YouTube every month, but it's like anywhere from $15 to $30. It doesn't count. It's not even enough for a phone bill, you know? Let's do, you know, I want to introduce some black onto this piece. I think that would look really sleek and chic and just, let's pull some of that dark red down into her outfit just a little bit. You know what's getting me though is the background. There needs to be a little something something in the background. So I'm going to reach in and grab, I don't know, it needs to be something ugly, like a color that shouldn't match. A minty green or a lime green, something discordant. An orange would look cool, but that might be a bit too harmonious. What else would look kind of funky back there? An avocado green might look too good. She's serving a little bit of a retro color vibe. 60s perhaps, 60s, early 70s sort of a deal, early to mid 70s. The background, though, it needs something. But I can't put my finger on what it is. What about gray? What if we make it super dull and go with a gray? Huh. Let's see. So it's going to be either a green or a gray. Oh, I kind of like the gray though. You know what? We don't do gray in the background often, so let's. I don't hate it. Okay, but the marker is definitely in need of some juice. Yeah, I don't hate it at all. I almost want to do a gray green mix just out of curiosity for science. Okay, so what I'm doing is I pulled out the tip and I'm gonna spray some alcohol directly into the marker like that, and I'm gonna let it soak through. I'm also gonna spray the chisel that I just pulled out. Oh my god. Oh, I dropped it and I couldn't find it. Okay, so spray the chisel just a bit, shove it back in there, and I'm going to let it sit for a little. And let's see. Let's put some green on this. You know, I kind of want to go with a brown now though, because she is giving me retro vibes. So, oh god. This is a weird color palette. I mean, I think it works, but this is not conventionally pretty, you know? But we love that. We love that around here. We do. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. She's serving the autumn looks, right? Vaguely Art Deco, 80s, autumn style. I don't know. Call it whatever you'd like, but I think it's working. And when we slap the gel pen and the glitter, oh baby, she's gonna be precious, I think. Never be afraid to experiment, guys. Never, ever. And I mean proper experimentation, because there are people out there who say, experiment, have fun, blah, blah, blah. But they still mean that within convention. And what I mean by that is, oh, mix colors together that you wouldn't normally use, but use the same medium. And be careful not to do this, and be careful not to do that. And if you're going to be mixing, here's some proper mixing techniques. Here, I encourage you to mix watercolor with acrylic. Mix it with your toe. Mix it with the spoon. I don't care. Just try something that makes you uncomfortable. For better or worse, that is how I've lived my entire life. You know what? Your girl wants some greens. We are absolutely going to introduce some greens on here. I want this green here. I just on her jewelry, period, or her. This is some kind of a funky headpiece. And I want to put the green onto her makeup as well. Okay, so now because I want this jewelry to be translucent, we're gonna have to add her face in here and her little neck. Like so. Let that dry. And her Her skin might look kind of cool in green, actually. But let's not. Let's just do the jewelry. There's no way that is sufficiently dry, but we're gonna go in anyway. And you know what? I'm gonna try to be a little bit looser with the color if I can. I should have done that from the start, but that's okay. So for the background, oh yeah, look how juicy that is. It's so juicy that the ink is leaking from the other side. Okay, that's properly juiced. Oh yeah, that is super juicy. So we'll just throw some gray haphazard on the background. God, I forget how fun alcohol markers are. Jesus, I don't use them often in my sketchbook, and I really, truly should. I've mentioned it before, but for those of you who are new to my channel, alcohol markers were my first love. I used to work exclusively in pencil, and then I worked in, it was charcoal and pencil, and then I moved on to alcohol markers, and I never looked back. And then eventually I just stopped using them. Oh, shoot, we picked up a little piece of red somewhere. We'll take care of that later. Uh-oh, there's red in the tip of them. Where did that come from? It's spreading some red business around, which I don't like. Let's clean that up. Oh well. So I think this marker actually is on its way out because the pigment seems to be dissipating quite a bit, which is unfortunate. So we will figure out another workaround. I think, oh my God, you see what it's doing? There's little red flecks of pigment. There's flecks of red pigment in this. They became embedded into the felt of the marker. We'll take care of it. We'll handle it. Don't you worry. We will handle it. But yike, I didn't want that. Okay, so I just want to make sure that I get some gray on the background here. And then this marker is going in the trash. Because juicing it did help, but it seemed to have pulled out the last of the gray pigment. So it's on its way out, just period. It just needs to get thrown in the trash. And it's leaving me these annoying red streaks. So, baby, you gotta go. In fact, I'm not even gonna keep trying. You're just going in the trash. Okay, so let's see. Do I have another gray that I could potentially use? I don't believe so, but I have this green here. This yellowish green. I was just itching to do this. This one also is dying, but that's okay. This is just going to be an experiment in dead markers, I guess. Seeing what kind of magic you can coax out of cheap dead markers. I mean, I'm not hating it. It's giving me some texture, and it may look like garbage right now, but hey, you never know what will happen at the end. You know what? This one also is picking up red streaks. I don't know what is happening here. Oh, you know what? It may have picked it up from the paper. Okay. So let's go ahead and see if this one could do with some juicing. This may be a much longer sketchy Saturday than usual, which I don't think you guys would mind, right? But we're getting all experimental up in here today, so that's the game we're playing. So what I'm getting at with all of this is if you have dead markers, layer them and layer them and layer them on top of each other, and you will end up with an interesting textured background that you otherwise would be unable to achieve with alcohol markers. Because a properly pigmented marker is going to fill up the space adequately and opaquely. But because these are dying, they are leaving fun textures. I recently, well actually I'm not sure when this Sketchy Saturday will be up, but assuming that this is up after the color in chat, I recently updated or uploaded a color in chat. It's the second color in chat for Rococo A Go-Go, and I showed you how to do a bit of a stone-washed effect with dried up markers. You can't really see it too much in the final product, but in the first few minutes you can see that I'm laying down the color and you get a bit of a stone-washed effect, acid washy. It's a little like this, but much more pronounced, because I feel as though you can see the stone wash effect better when you use darker colors, when you use a darker color and a lighter color paired together, not so much lighter colors like this. But do you see the texture in the background? It's kind of a cloudy, I don't know how you would describe this. It's modeled, it's a modeled texture, cloudy, a little, I don't know what, but I like it. It looks cool. It's not just a plain, expected sort of marker look, you know? So for those of you out there who feel inadequate because your supplies are crap and you don't have the money to purchase nice fancy ones, use your shitty supplies, baby. Look, I'm using them with you. You're good. Play. And I'll tell you, you actually have the advantage. If you cannot afford good supplies, and I'll tell you why you have an advantage. I've said it before, but if you are new here, you have an advantage because you are forced to learn how to coax magic out of mediocrity. Whereas people who can afford good supplies, they never have that grit to learn to be scrappy and to experiment, right? They're just born with a silver spoon. I live in Palm Springs. I have several friends like that. They were born privileged and they have not experienced, how can I say this nicely? Because I appreciate my friends. I like them. They're fun. But they have not experienced life to its full potential in that they grew up in conventional, relatively conservative households with a silver spoon. You live structured. You grow up, you go to a good college, you get married, you settle down, and that's the rest of your life, right? And then they're constantly trying to escape that lifestyle. And they're still relatively young. Well, no, I do have some friends who are young. I mean, they're in their 30s, 40s, and they're living that way, and I feel so bad for them. I'm like, baby, please let me help you. But of course, who am I? Who am I, the single weirdo, to dispense advice? The single weirdo, the single lower class, the single lower middle class weirdo, right? Who am I to tell the wealthy people how to be happy? Okay, I think this is sufficiently dry. This I definitely want to do. I wish I had a pen that was copper. I think we're gonna go with a gold. Just the standard gold. Or should we go with an orange, guys? Let's see. Should this be orange? Let's slap some orange on here. Just, you know, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Gold would be nice, but I feel as though I use those colors frequently. And gold in the background. As a matter of fact, I did it on this one. See? I used a gold watercolor on that one. Very different look, right? We used a water-based marker on this one. Well, a blend, but mostly, mostly water-based. Okay, I'm going to reach for a different brand of marker for this. Wait, is this the same brand? No, it is the same brand. I'm lying to you. It's the same. Okay. Her skin, guys. What are we gonna do? You know what? Something is still making me want to play with a gray. Are we gonna give her gray corpse skin? I think we're gonna give her gray corpse skin. Yeah, I have a feeling this Sketchy Saturday is going to be so long. So for those of you who enjoy long form videos, I truly hope you appreciate this one. I didn't go into this, if you watch the video you know, I didn't go into this expecting to turn this into a bit of a lesson, not a lesson, but a demonstration into playing with dead markers and ugly colors at the same time. So there was a time in my YouTube history when I explicitly would go into a video wanting to show people how to, this is how I stipple, this is how I color with crayons, etc. So they were a little bit more intentional in the way that I would structure the video. But now I'm finding that when I'm in my little experimental moods, I just do whatever comes to me. And the problem with that, it's fun and I enjoy it. But the issue is that I feel that people have come to expect in the title of the video to be an explanation of what they're going to be seeing in the video. So in other words, coloring in my coloring book with mud, coloring in my coloring book with coffee grounds, coloring in my coloring book with, I don't know, nail polish, right? So people expect that in the title, and I rarely put these days what I'm going to be doing in the video, and I feel as though people are missing out on what I'm doing, and this might be something that interests people. So if I don't put, this is from this point moving forward, if I don't explicitly put in the title of the video what I'm going to be doing, I think I'm going to be putting just a quick descriptor in the description box. And I know people don't read the captions on Instagram or the description box on YouTube. People just don't do that. I don't know why, but they don't. And I think I need to start doing that. And just saying, hey, in this video, I'm doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I always write in the description box. That's where all of my links and things are. But I think I need to start actually explicitly saying, in this video, we're going to be messing around with this, 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 that, and the other. So that people get an idea of what they're going to be looking at. So keep that in mind. I'm sure I'll remind you in future videos as well, in case you forget. But just felt the need to mention that. So she's officially in her ugly stage. She's been in the ugly stage for quite a while. But if you know my art, you know that that's exactly how it is. Most of my artwork, in fact, is in this ugly stage. And I have, over the years, well, I'm not going to say that I've become accustomed to it, because this is just how I've always worked, that my artwork spends more time in the ugly phase than it does in the final stages. So my artwork looks hideous until just before it's complete. That's just always the way that it's been. This would discourage a lot of people. I know that. I know, trust. Oh, I'm creating something super ugly. But no, it's okay. If you have a system that you develop, because I have a system of layers that I work in, so I more or less know what to expect. And I know. I'm quite comfortable being in the ugly stage, and I'm quite comfortable showing you the ugly stage, because all of my videos, they spend most of the time in the ugly stage, but I'm not afraid to show you that, because this is simply my process. And of course, your girl grabbed who? The love of my life, the black glaze pen. Links to all of the supplies will be down below, except for the markers. The markers are the Chalky Crown. That's the private label. Chalky Crown markers. I do have a review. If you want to watch that review, watch it, or at least go over there, watch a minute of it, leave me a thumbs up and a comment, because I think it's really important that reviews get seen. And also, if you're in the mood, please watch the first, because I think YouTube counts a view as, you know what, I'm not even going to say because I don't know, but watch at least a couple of minutes of that review, like it, leave a thumbs up, and then also search for my review on the No Issue tissue. And it's No Issue, one word without an E at the end. NOISSU, No Issue. No Issue tissue. Because I ripped them to shreds in that video. And it got some attention, but not a lot. Not enough to make an impact. They never contacted me again, but, you know, I think it's important because people they just don't like it when people are honest about their reviews. And here's the thing, if somebody wants to work with me and they want to treat me right and they want to send me supplies that are quality, why would I leave a nasty review? No, if you have a good product, absolutely, I would be more than happy to work with you. Totally. That being said, if any company out there happens to be watching, hey, send me some PR, let's chat, email me. I would love to do reviews on this channel. Love it. But I'm simply not going to sacrifice who I am to sugarcoat and be a Disney princess. Everything's wonderful. I love it. I'll go buy it. Here's my link. No, absolutely not. Do I enjoy making money? Of course, I need it. I have Amazon links. You guys know I link Amazon supplies down below. Well, no, I said that incorrectly. The supplies that I use, they are not Amazon exclusives, with the exception of the Ohuhu markers. But at least I'm not sure. I think you can purchase off of Ohuhu's website as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I leave the name of the supplies and the link down below to Amazon, and Amazon does give me a little bit of kickback when people use those links, but you are absolutely not obligated. If you are anti-Amazon, if you prefer shopping at your local brick and mortar, baby, please do it. But for those of you who do shop on Amazon, whether for convenience or whether you have a disability and it's just easy for you to shop online, that the links are there for you. I don't hide that. I do get kickback when people click on those links. But that being said, it's important that the links that I'm using are to products that I stand behind. Now, I will say this, that when you are shopping on Amazon, you have to be careful and you have to make sure that the places that you are shopping from are reputable, because there are a lot of individuals on Amazon who sell products that are old, expired, etc. So it's important to shop on the Amazon shops that are directly from either the manufacturer or an art store and the like. And the way that you can tell that is by looking at the product pictures usually. Some product pictures are going to be poorly lit on somebody's kitchen table, you know what I mean? It's because somebody is purchasing liquidated merchandise that's been sitting on the shelves for years, and then they're turning it around and selling it on Amazon for full retail price. And their photography is typically not good, or they have very few reviews, that kind of thing. So you just have to be a little bit careful about how you're shopping on Amazon. And I bring that up because some people have told me, hey, I've purchased Micron pens before and they were shit. They were all dried up and they were terrible. Or, hey, I've purchased this type of marker and it was shit, blah, blah, blah. It's likely because the place that you purchased it from was not reputable. Or, and this has happened to me before, you visit an art store in a podunk town where there's not a lot of turnover in their supplies, and then, oh, yikes, things sit on the shelf for years and then the quality just goes to crap. Gel pen. It is time for gel pen. And you know what, actually, I want to juice up this dark red and I want to mix it with some pink. She's gone a little crazy today. Crazy. In other words, she's just being Karla today. I'm playing today. On the heels of my other sketchy Saturday in which I hope I was able to upload that video, because right now it is filmed, but it has not been uploaded. I used almost exclusively Crayola crayons. Oh, I'm sorry, Crayola Super Tips in that video. And again, it was an encouragement to people to not feel obligated to purchase top-of-the-line supplies. Hell, just go to Target and buy yourself some Super Tips, and baby, you are good. Yep, it is gel pen time. I already know that, you know, I show this a lot. It's just an art bin multi-compartment. If I remember, I will link this down below. I've never linked it in any of my videos. They sell it on major art supply stores, sell it, but if I can find it on Amazon, I'll link it below. It's great. I mean, I'm overflowing. I need to purchase another one, but it works great for organizing gel pens because it has these little dividers so you can customize everything. So I have it organized. I have glitters, I have metallics, I've got my Jelly Roll souffles and matte finishes, and then I have my neon moonlights. This one should not be in here. And then I've got my sparkle pops and dual metallics. So I know exactly what colors I want to go with today. We're going to go with all of these warm colors, and we'll do orange. I'm gonna go with pink glitter as well. She's getting kooky. She's getting kooky up in here. Oh, I love how this looks. I just love. Okay. I'm going to begin. God, I don't know. What am I going to do here? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Maybe we should hold off. Should we do the figure first? Let's, yeah, figure first, and then we shall move into the background. It's kind of the opposite of the way I typically work, but that's fine. Okay. Okay, this is going to take me a while. I'm going to be adding highlights to the hair. When I finish the hair, I will check in, because again, this video is going to be very long and we don't want too much dead hair. So I will finish the figure and then I will check in. What I'm going to do is finish the figure, or rather, I'll finish the hair. This right here is going to be nothing but orange glitter. Okay, so the hair, the glitter, and then I'll come back. Well, this is quite a little jumpy jump from the last time you saw her, right? Filled in the background, did the hair, now I'm working, or I shouldn't say filled in the background, I filled in this background shape. Now we're doing some accents with the gel pen. Let me remove my little glove thingy. I put it on because I was filling in the background and that was a lot of repetitive motion, and you guys know my wrist. The issues that I've been crying about for years. Hey, when you're an artist and you have a permanent wrist injury, it kind of sucks, you know? So, the indents. There are these little metal plates in there that keep me from moving my thumb, because that's where the injury is. It's right in here. It's the tendons. So I have to keep my thumb as stationary as possible when I'm working, and repetitive motions like this, that doesn't help. So anyway, we are adding gel pen, my baby the gel pen. You guys know my Jelly Roll Moonlight. I want to do something with the green and gray background. I don't know what yet. I might just add some scriggly scraggly lines. I don't know. But we shall see. Oh my god, I have this dumb song stuck in my head. So I was a very odd child. I would listen to songs that I shouldn't have been listening to in my generation. What I mean by that is not because they were necessarily bad songs, but I was in junior high. Well, no, it started mostly in high school. But in junior high, I was into music that was like 30 years old, and in junior high or in high school, the same thing. It got even worse. It's when I was delving further into it because I was on the internet looking up things. But there are some songs from the 90s that are just so obnoxious, but they're so obnoxious that they are iconic as far as I'm concerned. One of the songs that I had stuck in my head recently, it's such a dumb song, but I love it. It's Blue by Eiffel 65. It's I'm Blue, da ba dee da ba da. You know that song. And that one, and yesterday and today, it started yesterday and it's leaching into today. It's this song by a band called Prozac, like the medication. They don't spell it the same as the medication. If I remember correctly, they spell it with, I don't know if it's 2 Z's and a K or if it's a Z and 2 K's. I don't know, something weird. But the song is called Sucks to Be You. Whether you've heard it or not, I don't know. I don't know how popular the song was, but I know that it's from the 90s and it's Sucks to Be You. I know. It's so dumb and I love it. At the beginning of the song, there's the part where he's lamenting. He was treating his girlfriend like shit, I suppose. And they broke up, and it's 2 little characters walking down the street. And his friend is a big, beefy, ultra-feminine guitar player. And he says something like, oh, it's okay, let me buy you a milkshake. I just keep saying, because I have ice cream in my refrigerator. And every time I serve myself ice cream, I serve it to myself in a cup. So it kind of starts to melt and resemble a milkshake. And so I hear that in my head. Let me buy you a milkshake. And then the stupid song starts in my head. Sucks to be you. I know. I can't stop. If you look it up and it gets stuck in your head, I would apologize. But it's a fun song. It's so dumb. It's just fun. It's fun. I would love to do that song for karaoke. I don't know how obscure the song is. I don't even know if karaoke bars would have it. But just listen to it once if you're curious. Or maybe it's one of those songs that you used to listen to and then it just was lost to time and now I'm getting it restuck in your head. I don't know. I don't remember when it was from exactly. I know it's the 90s, but I can't tell you when. One hit wonder situation. I don't even think that band exists. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Sucks to Be You by Prozac. So dumb. And I'm hearing it in my brain right now. I don't like the 90s. I despise everything about 90s fashion and makeup. The new millennium thing that was going on where everything was silver and holographic and glitter. I hate that shit. I love glitter. I do. But it's that 90s aesthetic because the colors of the 90s were very cool toned and sparkly frosty. I hate everything about 90s fashion. Everything about it. Everything. The handkerchief tops, the ultra low rise jeans. Oh my god, I despise the 90s. Period. I despise it. The frosted eyeshadow, despise it. But the music was cool. I will give it that. Wasn't that the height of the boy bands too? I was an odd child. Well, I don't know. Does this make me an odd child or a cool child? I'm going to argue that it made me a cool child. That I was never into the boy bands. I never got into the Spice Girls or the Backstreet Boys or the NSYNCs or any of those kind of things. it was never my jam. And even, actually, boy bands are still around, right? The Korean boy bands, whatever, I don't know. But I was never into that. Was I too young for it? Maybe I was too young to care. I don't know. But not my thing. Never into it. I was a weird kid listening to 80s music. And by extension, I didn't really know that I was interested in disco, but I would listen to it and I knew that I liked it. But I didn't really know. I was more of a 60s girl group. I'm telling you, my brain, I don't know what I was thinking. I thank God, I ended up like this. I'm glad I did. Free-spirited, I do what I want child, which is cool. But sucks to be you. It's in my brain somehow. And all triggered by some stupid ice cream in a cup, okay? This is my brain for you. Okay. Let's see, what are we going to do with the brown out here? I think we might leave that alone, or we might do it in a different color. I'm not sure. You know what? I'm going to be annoying here, and we are going to hit it on the diagonal. These Jelly Roll Moonlights, man, I can't stop once I start with them. Sometimes I'm good. Sometimes I'm a good girl and I use them simply as an accent. But then other times I go a little overboard. Case in point today. But it's cool. I mean, we're having fun, whatever. Oh, this is coming out extremely sloppy. I hate it. We're going to fill it in. And you know what? It's better this way because then it's going to pull in the glaze. Oh, we're filling this in. We are filling in this creature. I was going to say this bitch, but let's not. I always say if you make a mistake, if you hate something, cover it up. And oftentimes that cover up looks better. Am I going to want to kill my glaze pen by filling in this entire section with it? Maybe. We shall see. But I do prefer the way this looks filled in. Yeah, we're going to fill it in with the glaze. Because the two different shades of black bother me. That's something that irritates me so much about, and it started in high school. When I would see the metalheads and the goth kids running around, because I used to try to identify as a goth kid, but then I started hanging out with goths and I realized that they're too boring and conventional for me. Like, they all dress exactly the same. They all listen to the exact same music and they're very cliquish, right? Very cliquish, very timid little creatures who they congregate together in groups and it's like, oh no, our little safe space. And I can't. It wasn't enough for me. And so I stopped identifying as a goth ages ago. I'm still interested in spooky things, but goths just aren't fun and wild enough for me, and they're just too predictable. No offense, if I have any goths out there, trust me, I love you guys, but it's just not for me. It's not my community. And so one thing that would bother me so much is seeing people who dress in all black, but they're wearing different shades of black. Their top would be one shade of black, their pants would be a different shade. I'm like, oh my God, stop. All of your blacks need to be similar in tone. They don't necessarily have to be identical. I mean, that would be ideal, but I know that's difficult to do. But no, don't do that. I hate it so much. Their t-shirts would be faded and their jeans would be a different shade, and then, oh God, I just couldn't. Or they would pair patent leather vinyl jackets with faded jean pant. No, don't do that. Head to toe all vinyl or head to toe perfectly colored black denim. Just don't. Or here's the exception, is if you're wearing something incredibly distressed, like let's say for instance, this is becoming fashion talk, okay? Fashion talk with Karla, but you guys know I love clothes. Here's the exception. If you're wearing, for instance, shorts or pants or whatever it is, bottoms, denim, we'll just choose denim, that are distressed, maybe acid wash, that type of really faded black, if it's intentional fading and intentional distress, and then you pair that with a solid black t-shirt or a vinyl jacket, then it's fine. The intentional mismatch is great, but when you are attempting to match your blacks and it's just a faded old t-shirt and a faded pair of sweatpants, no baby, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Hurts my brain. Of course, my fashion probably hurts other people's brains, but hey, I'm allowed to have an opinion on fashion over here, okay? Is this chaos driving anyone nuts? Because it's driving me crazy. I'm going to go ahead and put it all away because I don't need it anymore. So let's go ahead and clean up a little bit. And you know what I'm thinking? Because I'm on such a gray fixation today, at least it feels that way, I'm going to pull out I'm going to pull out gray jelly rolls. Say what? Oh yes, I have gray jelly rolls. I've used them before in color and chats, but I don't use them in my artwork often. I purchased them when they were freshly released, give or take a few months, and I really like them. I simply don't use them. So we're gonna, where are they though? I know I have more than two. What the heck? Oh, here they are. Okay. Is it just the four? There was 5 of them out here. Okay. So we're gonna see what we can possibly do with these. I want to do something in the background. Excuse my dog. Let us destroy. I have grabbed a gray marker. You will recall I did a gray outline earlier. We're gonna do that again. We'll go full chisel on it. Oh my God, she's destroying it. Stop, you're killing it. I know. Shh, 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 shh. It's okay. If you create a problem for yourself, being able to work your way out of it in a creative, successful way is one of the fun parts of being an artist. If you're afraid of doing stuff, you're never going to succeed as an artist, period. If you are too timid, you're never going to succeed unless you want to be someone who is a realist painter, someone who's, and I'm not poo-pooing this, if you are a conventional animal, more power to you, do your thing. But if you want to be wild and experimental and do super creative work that's not by the book, you can't be afraid of screwing up your work. You just can't. You have to be fearless, okay? Does it make sense what I'm doing? I don't know. Probably not. But we're trying it. I want a green. let's pull out that lime green that I was teasing way early in the video about wanting to try to use. Subtle, but it's there. Was it necessary? No. But that's okay. Let's muck it up. I said muck it up, muck it up. You know, I don't like the F word. It's just so unappealing, that word. I don't like hearing it. If you say it, I'm not knocking you, that's fine. But for me personally, I just, ugh, something about that word, it's ugly. Just feels so, I don't know. You know, some people don't like the word moist. That word does not bother me. But the F word does. The F word to me is moist to other people, basically. The F word to me is what moist is to other people. There, that's more grammatically correct, yeah? Getting somewhere now, huh? It's funny how one thing leads to another. I put down that gray line and it just spurred the green mess in the background, and I'm not done with that gray line. I had a nebulous vision for it, and it is going to come to fruition. I just need to finish. I need to get these scriggly scraggles out of my system first. Before we proceed. I like this. You know, these experimental pages, even though I may not necessarily like the outcome, it's too early for me to tell whether or not I'm going to enjoy the final product or not. But these processes are far more exciting and entertaining to me than doing something by the book. Even my typical style. So much more fun. Again, I may not like the final product, and let that be a lesson to you, that even though the final product may not be to your liking, the process of it, if that was entertaining and you learned something and you got something out of it, that is the sweet spot. If you're not having fun, you're doing it all wrong. If the entirety of your art making process is you worried about screwing up and making mistakes, honey, you are doing it wrong. Okay, so what I wanted to do is go in with a lighter shade of gray. The problem with these damn grays, I don't know if they've released them now at this point in larger tip sizes, but they only come in a freaking, the teeny tiny tip. It's a size 6, which is the absolute worst. I despise the thing. You know what? I don't even know if it's going to show up. Shoot. Shooty shoot shoot. Well, we will find out then. Oh no, it shows up. Okay. A little thin, but it showed up, so we will deal with it. That's all. Literally, that's all I wanted to do. just add some lines. But I think it looks cool. Was it necessary? No, it just looks cool though. And that's what's important. I don't like it as much as I thought I would, but we tried it. We tried it. See what happens if we try to cover it up. They may peek through just a little bit, which will be cool, it will be acceptable. Usually it annoys me when the moonlights peek through, but in this instance I think I will be okay with it because I want to try something else. Should I? Probably not. I should just leave well enough alone, but your girl can't stop. She cannot be stopped. Should I be stopped? Probably, but she can't. Kind of like it, but I think the key here is going to be to not follow the rotation of the circle, just to keep going across like this. Yeah, kind of like that. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is much more successful. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like when I finish the entire portion of it. But so far, I like this. It's getting a little weird right here, but not super hot on it now. Well, we're gonna cover it up again. Oopsie, I got some gray right here. So what I took away from that is that I like the idea of putting the gray on top of a darker color. So, see, we got something out of it. Was that a successful experiment? No, not exactly, but that's cool. They're not always going to be successful, and that is okay. It's bothering me, though, because I still want to do something to this shape. Perhaps it will come to me, perhaps it won't. That's fine. This is how we learn. This is how we experiment. It just bothers me that I don't know what to do. I want to do something. Ooh. But we're having fun. We're enjoying the process. Who knows? It may just end up staying plain. I don't know. I don't want it to, but we shall see. What we will do is add some scriggly scraggles to the outline of it. This is too dark. Let's go with a medium gray. Let's go with this one. And we'll do this around the entire page. We are coming up on the end of this little experiment. You guys, this went all over the place. I don't hate it. We ended up in this weird kind of grungy situation. It's Art Deco grunge. Grunge Art Deco. Is that such a thing? No, of course it's not such a thing. We're inventing genres over here. This is what happens in my brain. Grunge Art Deco is now a thing. Will I continue to do work in this grungy style in my Deco Dolls coloring book? I don't know. Maybe we might try it. I mean, I invented a whole new genre here. We might as well honor it and try it. This, I did not mention it, I don't believe, in the Sketchy Saturday. I know that I mentioned it in the Sketchy Saturday for this one, if it is up on the channel, that this and this, these two pages were the catalyst for my latest coloring book, Deco Dolls. So this page and this one, actually a few of the ones that are in my sketchbook, are available in that coloring book. So if you want to try to follow along and do something like this or like this, go ahead and grab that book. Or if you want to experiment with other art supplies, you can purchase the PDF version on my Etsy shop. PDF versions are always available in my Etsy store. The bound versions are on Amazon. But we are finishing this up. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up off camera. There's just a few little details that I want to put in. I may do some highlighting, some sparkles, I don't know, but just a few little details around the face, and then we're gonna call it a day. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this weird experimental foray into Art Deco grunge, apparently. Take a look down below. Everything you need to know will be down below. Links to the art supplies, to the sketchbook that I'm using, and I may or may not have a link to the coloring book depending on when I finish this and when I upload it and whether the book is on sale yet or whatever. I think it might be. But in any event, we are done with the Sketchy Saturday. I will go ahead and insert the final shots in the end so you can see it completed and rotated and all of that good stuff. Take a look down below. Everything you need to know will be down below. Like I mentioned, those links to my social media and to my website and to my Patreon if you are so inclined in helping to support this freak show. That's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Get the hell out of here. Be bad, be good. I don't give a damn which. Just come back in one piece. I will catch you in the next one.